cause we're close to the edge. We're trying not to lose our heads. Why you wanna take us under? Why you wanna take us under? I get the feeling sometimes that make me wonder why you wanna take us under. Why you wanna take us under? Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
Hey, yo, check it out. Here we go, baby. You know, it's Wednesday, hump day. Dude, you know, not to be afraid, not to be fearless, and to be afraid all at the same time. It's like you got to have your head on your shoulders right, or you're going to be taking this thing, but this thing's just going to take you like a storm. So look, it makes me think of movies like, you know, I Am Legend comes to mind. I think we associate with movies really well because we see them and we remember those images. And it's like, I Am Legend, what's he play all the time? Three Little Birds by Bob Marley. Why does he do that? Because it keeps his spirits up all the time. Is he afraid? Of course he's afraid, but he's also fearless at the same time. He's fearless in the face of death, but knowing that fear is right around the corner. So it's like, dude, you got to keep your head on your shoulders straight. It's like you can't be on one side or the other. You got to be right in the middle. You got to be calm, collected, vigilant, ready to go. Be a warrior right now. We need warriors right now. We need those who got their games together, ready to tackle this thing on head first. All right. So listen, you know, who wins in a battle of fear or fearless? You ever see the movie Reign of Fire? That was a really great movie with Matthew McConaughey and Christian Bale. Right, it's about dragons that like came back and took over the world, and it's like, what's the difference between dragons coming back and creating an apocalypse versus a bacteria that's kind of like a hidden thing inside our bodies that creates an apocalypse? What's the difference? Right? It's like, so what happens? McConaughey comes in all badass, like a badass American with his tanks and his guns and all his dudes, and he's like freaking ripped, and the dude is awesome. Like, I love McConaughey in this role, right? So he is totally fearless to take down these dragons. He'll do whatever it takes. He don't care. Where Christian Bale's all like scared and hiding in his castle, and he's trying to wait out the storm, and he's afraid of friggin' anything, right? So what happens to McConaughey in the castle? The friggin' dragon comes over there and friggin' lights it on fire, right? Well, in the very end, and I'm not going to ruin this for you, because if you haven't seen the movie, you really ought to see it, because it's a really good flick, right? So who wins in the end? The person who's got fear, or the person who's fearless, or is it the person that has a little bit of both? Who wins in the end? All right. So look, I was just down at a client's place, getting them an estimate on some paint work, and the client happens to be a physician. And I told him about this water machine, and he was curious about it. I'm going to send him some information. And I told him about the 2.5 electrified pH, and he's like, 2.5? Really? That's really acidic. That's really low. He's like, that's going to get into the cells and just totally destroy the cell and blow it apart. And I'm like, exactly. And then on top of that, it's electrified. So it's really going to do the job of destroying that cell and allow your immune system to attack these problems, these bacteria on a smaller scale. So if you're healthy and you can take care of yourself and you've got the right water in you and you put this hypochlorous acid in there, it's going to destroy those cells so your body can send the right antibodies over and take care of it. And that's the whole point. So it's really interesting. So I got a physician interested in this, and this isn't unusual. Like 300 Japanese hospitals use the hypochlorous acid to help with healing wounds and things like that. And you know, I've got another client who has a degree in molecular biology. My father is a chemical engineer. My brother's a chemical engineer. Like, these people are latching on to this thing because they understand the chemistry behind it. And it's like, it's as simple as having the right pH in our bodies, having the right health and the right nutrients in our bodies, and changing the molecular makeup of who we are, that will combat this virus. It will combat pretty much any virus. And then if you got the hand sanitizer, mouthwash, bacteria killing, hypochlorous acid, which is something our body actually makes. If our body's operating at the highest level possible, we actually create naturally hypochlorous acid that fights off bacteria and viruses, right? That's what this machine makes. It's something that you can drink actually that will do this very thing. So, we have the answer. And the thing that's so frustrating to me about this whole process with this virus is that we actually have an answer. And people say, well, why isn't this widely known? Why don't we know that this exists? And why isn't the president on this? And why aren't scientists and doctors and all these people on this? Because the FDA hasn't approved it yet, because they don't know how to label this machine. In Japan, this machine is actually labeled as a medical device, but the FDA, which is totally different than any other place in the whole world, because in America we got to butcher friggin' everything, and anything that actually works and anything that actually does our body good is suppressed. I mean, why do you think Coca-Cola exists? If the government truly cared about your health, do you think McDonald's would be allowed to serve the food that they serve? For real, check yourself. Soda, junk food, Doritos, do you think they'd be putting MSG in there? What do you think palm oil is? You ever do the research on palm oil and where it comes from? Oh yeah, they're cutting down an acre of rainforest every second to grow palm trees, to put palm oil in your Ritz crackers, in your Doritos, in all of your chips. If you look on the back of the package, all the ingredients are on there. I ain't lying to you. Check it out for yourself. I've looked. It's all on there. Why would they allow high fructose corn syrup in Heinz ketchup in America, but not in Europe? You got to understand, there is a solution. There is an answer out there, and we got to demand it. We got to demand it from the government. We got to demand it from the people in charge, because they're making us all hibernate in our homes and quarantine ourselves and lose money and lose jobs and kill the economy and all this stuff when we got a friggin' solution. We have a solution. It's crazy. Do the research. I'll send you information. You want information on the truth? Do you really want information on the truth? Because if you do, I will send it to you. I will overload you with the truth, because it's out there, but you can't find it because it's been suppressed. So for real, come check it out. PM me, message me, email me, whatever. Check out my websites. Check out my Facebook page, Light News. Check out my YouTube channel. Check this shit out, because I ain't lying to you. We have an answer. So we don't have to quarantine ourselves. We don't have to be afraid. We don't have to buy ourselves out of food and toilet paper and sanitation solution, because guaranteed, listen to this, you keep washing your hands with sanitation solution and watch what happens to the skin on your hands. You best be careful, because there's an answer to not get dried out, cracked skin that's just breaking down because you're using the wrong stuff that's got alcohol in it, that's got stuff that's really not that good for you. And you're buying the stores out of it, and they're making a bang for their buck because you're freaking out over this thing, and we got a friggin' solution that's going to put them out of business. All right? So, hey, honestly, I love y'all. I'm here to help you guys out. I'm here to spread the truth, because the truth needs to be said. So please, check me out. Hit me up. Let's talk. I'm here to talk. I'm open. I ain't afraid of being wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm crazy. But maybe the rest of the world's crazy, because we're friggin' buying out friggin' toilet paper. Y'all ever all like, hey, I could live in a, those memes? It's like, I could live in a cabin in the woods for $1 million for a year without internet, when y'all are freaking out over friggin' toilet paper. Get over yourselves. I almost lived in a bus with a backpack with bare minimums, pots and pans, basic needs, basic food. Because you know what? That's all we need. You got to think about the Native Americans and how they lived for thousands of years, right? You know what they did? They grew corn, beans, and squash together. You know why they did that? Because all those foods, those three foods, helped put nutrients back into the soil for each other. They were symbiotic to each other. On top of that, the corn grows up, the beans grow up the corn, and the squash covers the ground to keep the weeds down. Let's learn something. Come on. Information's out there. We just don't know where to look sometimes. Like, there's people out there that know, and there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that don't. We need to learn how to take care of our bodies, the right things to put in our bodies, and how to properly hydrate, because that's really the key, is proper hydration. I don't have irritable bowel syndrome anymore because I started drinking the right water. And now I don't have to worry about sanitation solution because I have the right water. It's all about the right water in your body because we're 75% water, guys. Come on, let's screw our heads on right. Let's stop being afraid, but don't be fearless because both extremes are dangerous. We need to have a little bit of fear and we need to be a little bit of fearless because that's how you tackle shit every single day. Y'all get after it. Do whatever you do. Take care of your families. Love your families. Communicate. Hit me up. I'm here all day, baby. You guys have an awesome one. Later.